You have exactly 1,440 minutes today. That's it. No more, no less. What I'm about to tell you will change your time management forever. Right now, this very second, as you're listening to this, about 51% of those minutes are about to vanish into tasks and add zero value to your life. The average person gets interrupted like 60 times a day, and that is going to result in about 25 minutes of loss of focus after each distraction. Meanwhile, you're going to be telling yourself that you don't have time for the gym. You don't have time for your favorite side project. You don't have time to learn that skill that's going to elevate your business or your life. Or even you don't have time to have a real conversation with that someone you love. But what if I told you that the problem isn't time? It is that you have been lied to about how time actually works.
Your Success DNA podcast. Your success is in your DNA.
What is up? What is up? What is up, my fellow success seekers? Welcome to another episode of Your Success DNA, that podcast for my aspiring, striving folks out there, entrepreneurs, moms and dads, 9-to-5 escapees, just folks that want to elevate their life. And so if that's you, you have come to the right place, because here each episode is going to deliver some mindset shifts, some habit upgrades, all mixed with a little dose of rebellion so that you can break free from the convention and build a life aligned with your version of success. And if you happen to know someone who dreams of ditching the grind and making themselves a little bit better through some self-help, some personal development, you might want to go ahead and forward this episode to them. Okay, so today we're going to be exposing the biggest lie that you have been told about time management. Yeah, we've all dived into all those time management books and courses and seminars and whatever. And I'm going to show you exactly where your 1,440 daily minutes actually disappear and how you can get them back. First, I'm going to reveal the shocking statistics about how the average person actually spends their day, including why you're losing over half of your productive hours in meaningless activities that someone else out there has decided were important. You'll discover why your brain can only focus for 12 minutes at a time and what this means for everything you're out there trying to accomplish. Second, we're going to dive into the real reason Warren Buffett's calendar was almost always empty while Bill Gates was drowning in meetings, and how this one single insight changed Gates' entire approach to success. And you're going to learn why the busiest people out there are often the least productive, and how you can flip this script in your own life. And then third, I'm going to walk you through the exact system that allows you to make time for everything that actually matters, whether that's building a business or getting in shape or finding the one you love, or if you already found them, spending some time with them, learning new skills, or just having a little space to think. This is not another productivity hack. It is a complete reframe of how time actually works. All right. So once again, here's a controversial truth that I don't think anybody wants to admit or even wants you to know. You, my friend, do not have a time problem. You do, however, have a priority problem that is disguised as a time problem. Yeah, stick with me here. Let me tell you about two of the richest, most successful people on the planet having a conversation that changed everything. Warren Buffett, yeah, you know the name, and if you don't, just research it. You'll learn all about him. One of the wealthiest men in history once showed Bill Gates' calendar. Gates later recalled being completely shocked because there was nothing on it. There were like 4 entries, maybe, by April, Buffett said casually. Meanwhile, Bill Gates admitted that he used to pack every single minute of his schedule, thinking that it showed how serious and how important he was to the world. His calendar looked like a little game of Tetris. Every block was filled, and no space to breathe inside there anywhere. Buffett told him, look, I can buy anything I want, basically, but, Bill, I cannot buy time. That conversation hit Gates like a lightning bolt. He realized he'd been confusing being busy with being productive. You control your time, Gates is later quoted as saying. It's not a proxy of your seriousness that you have to fill every minute of your schedule. Yeah, think about that for a second. 2 of the most successful people alive today, one of them had to teach the other that an empty calendar is not a sign of laziness. It can be a sign of clarity. So here's what's really happening in your life right now. You, my friend, are drowning in other people's urgencies while your own priorities suffocate alone in the corner. You're so busy responding to the world that you never get a minute to create anything meaningful in that world. Yeah. All right. So let me give you the exact system that you can use to reclaim 1,440 minutes starting today. Okay. Step number 1, let's do a brutal time audit. In so many of these episodes that I will give you and I have given you, This is always the first step. Whether you're trying to build a relationship, find a relationship, build a business, make yourself better, the first thing you're ever going to have to do is be brutally honest with yourself. So for the next week, I want you to track every single thing that you do in 15-minute blocks. I know how it sounds. It sounds a little obsessive, but you can't manage what you haven't measured or what you don't measure. Most people have absolutely zero idea where their time actually goes. They may have an inkling of where they think it goes, but where they think it goes is probably somewhere else. They think they're working productively for 8 hours when they're really probably getting in about 3 hours of meaningful work. Yeah, that's just the reality. You may be a little different, but track yourself and find out. Use your phone's notes app or a simple notebook. Grab yourself a journal, whatever it is. And then every 15 minutes or so, write down what you just did. You should remember the last 15 minutes, right? Don't judge it. Don't try to optimize it. Well, not yet anyway. Just observe. And let me be honest with you. You're probably going to be shocked at what it is you discover. Okay? Now, that brings us to step number 2. And this is the Eisenhower Matrix reality check. Yep. President Eisenhower here. Okay. So let's take everything from your time audit and we're going to sort that into 4 categories. Okay. Some of you will be familiar with these categories. Category number 1 is the urgent and important. These are real crises and deadlines that really matter to you. Category number 2 is the important, but not so urgent. These are like your goals, your relationships, your health. Hello. All right. And your learning. Still important, but not quite as urgent. And then group number 3 is going to be urgent, but not important. These are often things like other people's emergencies, most meetings that you have to go to, and those ever peppering interruptions that you get. And then group number 4, yeah, you know where I'm going with this. It's neither urgent nor important. These, my friends, are your time wasters. They include mindless scrolling, busy work that you do yourself, whatever it is. Okay, there's a whole host of things in here. Here's a key insight I want you to think about. You should only work on those first 2 categories. Boom, mic drop. I could end this episode right now, but we're not going to. Everything else should be delegated, automated, AI, hello, or deleted entirely out of your life. You just get it right out of there. Don't even worry about it and open up that space in your mind. There's this decision-making framework, which was originally developed by President Eisenhower and later popularized by the ever-popular Stephen Covey in his 7 Habits for Highly Effective People book, which I read a couple of times now. This framework will completely transform how you see your tasks and what you do with them. And here's another key insight I want to leave you with. You should only work again in those top 2 categories. Everything, every single damn thing should be delegated, automated, or deleted entirely. And I know I said that twice. That's how important it is. Most people out there are going to spend 80% of their time in those bottom 2 damn categories and then wonder why they never make any progress on what actually matters to them and their lives. I want you to remember Parkinson's law here. Work will expand to fill the time that you have available for its completion. It will. The work will expand to fill the time that you have available for completion. If you say, I've got 3 weeks to do it, guess what? It's probably going to take you 2 weeks and 6 days. Or it might take you 3 weeks and 2 days, right? But if you said, I only have a week to do it, guess what? You'll probably do it within 7 or 8 days, maybe even 6. Okay. So let's go to step number 3. You're going to do some time blocking, but you're going to time block like your life depends on it. I want you to stop creating a to-do list. I still have them, but follow me here. I want you to start scheduling every single minute of your day in advance. This isn't about being rigid. No, this is about being intentional. I want you to sit down, let's say on Sunday, and plan your entire week, Monday through the following Sunday. Every evening then, plan your next day and block out time for your priorities first. You want to do this first before the rest of the world starts laying claim on your hours. If it's not scheduled, guess what? It doesn't even exist. If you want to work out, block out a time for it and say, I'm going to work out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 a.m., whatever time it is for you, right? 3 p.m. If you want to learn something new, block out the time. You know what? I'm going to work on learning German on Tuesday and Thursday between 12 and noon. Okay, now you're there. If you want to work on that project, that side hustle, that personal development project, block out the time like your life depends on it. That brings us to step number 4. The step number 4 is the sacred no. Short little word, 2 letters, very important. This is the most important skill you, my friends, are ever going to develop. Saying no to almost everything so you can say yes to what really matters. Every yes to one thing is an automatic no to everything else you could be doing with that same period of time. You need to start treating your time like it's finite, right? It's a precious resource. It really is. I was sitting at a convention a couple of decades ago, and someone kind of laid this out for me. I can remember who the speaker was. He said, I don't have 50 years as an example in front of him. He said, let's say I go and visit my dad once a year and we go on a hunting trip every year. Well, I don't have 50 years to go on hunting trips with my dad. I have 50 more times available to go hunting. You almost look at it a little differently that way, don't you? So you need to start treating your time like it is finite, because it is. Because one day you're going to wake up and go, oh shit, I'm 63 years old. What the hell? So I want you to practice saying, well, that sounds interesting, but I'm not available. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, you do not owe anyone an explanation for protecting your own time. Okay? And that brings us to our last step here, step number 5, deep block works. Here's the thing. Research shows that our brains work in roughly 90-minute cycles. This is all based off your brain's natural ultradian rhythm cycles. All right. This is what productivity experts like Cal Newport calls deep work. We talked about deep work in a previous episode. This deep work is the ability to focus without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. That's how Cal describes it. So this is where you're going to spend some really hyper-focused time, not being distracted by anything else. Your phone is off. You close the door. It's just you and what it is you're working on. And this is something that's going to require your little mental engine going for a while there. All right. So what you're going to want to do is schedule 2 to 3 deep work blocks per day where you focus on one important task with no distractions whatsoever. Close the door, take the phone off the hook, turn your phone off, whatever it takes, so that you can focus on those couple of things in those top 2 categories we talked about earlier. Unlike the Pomodoro techniques, those 25-minute burst techniques, deep work requires a full 90-minute block so that you can achieve a true flow state and really get shit done in amazing ways. Those 25-minute block bursts, those Pomodoro techniques, they're great. They do have some benefits. I'm not going to slight them, but what I'm saying, man, if you really want to get into that flow state, you're going to have to dedicate a little bit of time, get on in there. So if you schedule it, yeah. All right. Again, turn off those notifications. Close the unnecessary tabs on your computer screen. So they're not even like teasing you off on the edge there. Put your phone in another room. Don't even bother about turning it off. Just go ahead and put it in another room and then work for 90 minutes. Once you've done those 90 minutes, give yourself a 15 or 20-minute break, right? Just totally step away. Let your eyes look at something else. Let your brain see something else. But during those blocks, trust me, if you do this, you'll accomplish more than most people do in an entire 8 to 12-hour day of scattered, interrupted work. Now, speaking of making time for things that matter, if this episode is resonating with you even a little bit, you need to get on my newsletter list, because every week I send out insights like this that cut through all the noise and all the caca and all the bullshit that's out there to give you some real strategies for building a life that actually works the way you want it to. It's called Unleash Your Success DNA, and it's for people who are tired of productivity theater and actually want results. So whether you're building a business or building personal goals or just trying to reclaim your damn life from all the chaos that's going out there, this newsletter will keep you focused on what it is that actually moves the needle for you. Doesn't matter what I want for you. It's what you want for yourself. You can sign up. The link down in the show notes. It's free. It's weekly. It's designed for people who refuse to accept the damn default life that everyone seems to want to set for you. Okay? So here's why I think this matters at a much deeper level. Time, my friends, is the only truly democratic resource out there. Rich or poor, young or old, successful or struggling, we all get the same 1,440 minutes per day. I don't care where you're at. So everyone gets it. It's not like I get $10 and he gets $10,000. No. I get 1,440 minutes and he gets 1,440 minutes. Okay. But here's what most people are going to miss. Time is not about productivity. It's about identity. How you spend your time is how you spend your life. And how you spend your life is who you end up becoming. So when you're constantly reacting to other people's priorities day in and day out, you're not just being unproductive. You are literally becoming someone else's version of who you should be. The bigger paradigm here is it's about reclaiming your agency in a world that has designed itself to steal your attention. All the apps on this little device right here, all the little tools and techniques and tricks on your computer, even AI is designed to steal your attention away. Every app, every notification, every quote unquote urgent request is competing for your most valuable asset. And most people are just giving it away willy-nilly for free. Right? Just passing it out like candy bars at Halloween. This isn't just about getting more done, like I said earlier. It's about becoming the person who has the time and the space to think, to create, to connect, and to grow. It's about designing a life instead of just surviving in one. Okay? So, all that said, let me give you your whiskered wisdom for today. You can't save time. Nope. But you can invest it. Every minute you spend on something that does not align with your values and your goals is a minute that you will never, ever get back. However, on the flip side, every minute that you invest in what truly matters to you compounds in your life over time. So, your specific action for this week, I want you to pick one thing that's important to you, but you never seem to have time for it. Okay? Maybe it's exercise. Maybe it's learning a new skill. Maybe it's just sitting down with that person you hold most dear. Maybe it's working on a creative project, or maybe it's just having a real conversation with the people that you love and care about. Whatever it is. And then schedule 30 minutes for it tomorrow. Don't schedule it for when you have time. Schedule the time. Say that is the time we're doing it. Put it on your calendar like it's the most important meeting of your day. You know what? It is the most important meeting of your day. You just decided it. Boom, there it is. And protect those 30 minutes like your life depends on it. Because in a very real sense, it does. Because look, you're going to get 1,440 minutes tomorrow, whether you plan on getting them, plan on using them or not. The question becomes, are you going to spend them or are you going to invest them? The most successful people are not the ones who have more time. They are the ones who are very intentional with the time they're already given. They've learned that being busy is not the same as being productive, and that being productive is not the same as being fulfilled. You have everything you need to make time for everything you know matters. You just have to decide that it's worth protecting. So stop waiting for time to just magically appear out of the air. You can't pull that rabbit out of the hat. Start creating it by saying no to what does not matter and saying yes to what does. The life you want is waiting, and it's waiting for you to make time for it. And with that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action.